First story. OP wants his fiancée to uninvite one of her bridesmaids because of a comment she made while drunk. I'm lucky enough to be engaged to the woman of my dreams. She's perfect in every way, and the wedding is currently scheduled for next June. Right now, along with my fiancée, I have a very close friend living with us. She was my roommate in college and basically my family. 5 months ago, she found out she was pregnant when she was told her entire life it was impossible for her to have kids. She was ecstatic, but her boyfriend, in case it comes up, he was also my roommate and basically family wasn't, and begged her to have an abortion. Basically, she thought she'd never have another chance, but they were absolutely not in any position to raise a kid at the moment. Their relationship got very strained, and she ended up having a miscarriage. 1 week later, she found out her boyfriend was having an emotional affair with a coworker. They broke up, and she ended up also getting into a massive fight with her family. Obviously, I moved her into my place as soon as possible, and while she was definitely struggling for a while, I'm glad to say she seems to be slowly healing. A few nights ago, my fiancée had some of her friends over, all of whom are bridesmaids. My friend joined them, and all of them ended up getting pretty drunk. My fiancée falls asleep pretty fast when she's drunk, so I carried her up to our room and tucked her in so I could take care of everyone else. My friend at that point had started drinking really heavily and looked kind of sick, so I walked her up to her bathroom and held her hair for about 20 minutes while she puked. When I figured she had enough out of her system, I left her to go check on the other girls and get them home. I was walking down the steps and heard one of her friends make a comment about me helping my friend up because I wanted to get in her pants. The other girls around her immediately told her off. They're all aware of my friend's situation, BTW, and I just stood obstructed on the stairs, trembling in anger. I managed to calm down temporarily, come down, and send them all home in Ubers. I had offered to drive them before, but in all honesty, I felt so angry that I did not want to be in that position. 3 days later, and I'm still angry. I genuinely don't ever want to be in the same room as this woman again, let alone have her 8 feet away as I say my vows. I haven't told my fiancée any of this yet, but I was planning to do so tomorrow, as well as request that her friend at least be removed from having a role and, if not flat out, be uninvited to the wedding. So would I be the arsehole for asking to remove her for something she said when she was drunk? Edit. After quite a few comments on this, I want to address a few points. First, my fiancée and her friends do not have problems with alcohol. My girl is a lightweight, and none of her friends were blackout drunk or anything that far. The only person who puked was my friend. Passing out because you drank too much and falling asleep after having a couple drinks are entirely different things. Okay, I really have to spell it out here because this is getting effing ridiculous. Every girl not living in my house had 3-4 drinks that night. Enough that none of them were getting behind the wheel, but not enough that they were all massively hammered and completely out of control. My fiancé had maybe 3 drinks and fell asleep 30 minutes later. Not passed out, not blacked out, just fell asleep. My friend was the only one who drank heavily, easily the equivalent of 6, maybe a couple more at most. At absolutely no point have I ever indicated I was going to take action or demand. My particular wording was request above, not demand, before talking to my fiancé about the whole story and the issue. I now intend to talk to the bridesmaid as well before I request anything. I understand I'm being a little overly sensitive. The reality is that this whole situation has been harsh and SHTTY for everyone involved. In particular, I know I've been very defensive of my friend given her current situation with her family, and it is entirely possible some of this anger towards the bridesmaid was redirected from things my friend's sisters have said and done to her in recent history. All this being said, there is absolutely nothing more between me and my friend besides a deeply platonic relationship. I do not have romantic or sexual feelings for my friend at all. Nor am I insecure about society telling me I can't have women friends without wanting to sleep with them. I'm just worried about my friend, who's still in a pretty bad place, and I feel like someone would insinuate that I would be taking advantage of her in such a state. She has not been living with us for 5 months. She found out she was pregnant 5 months ago. Her miscarriage happened approximately 2 months ago, and she moved into my place about 2 weeks after that. Comments. Sarajil 42. Info. Would you consider talking to this friend about how her comment made you feel and seeing how things go from there? How is or has the relationship between you two? Usually friendly or strained? Was this possibly a poor attempt at a drunken joke? I'm not saying what she said is right. I'm just trying to look at it from all angles here. Removing a bridesmaid or uninviting someone is a pretty big step. I just want to make sure this is something you really want to do. OP, honestly, I've thought about it, but I definitely would need to wait a little longer, as I'm still seeing red. The relationship has been fine before. I'm not especially close to her, as I am with some of my fiancés and other friends like her Mo, but we've never been on bad terms. I'd say friendly. It was worded as a joke, but her tone was accusatory. Maybe I won't rush into banning her until I at least talk to her. Ariscole 11. IDOWorkHereLady. If my fiancé said he wanted to ban a close friend from attending the wedding over a drunken comment like this, it would set off alarm bells immediately. It comes off as really defensive regarding your and your friend's relationship. I think if you talk to your fiancé about how that comment hurt you, it would be fine because those feelings are totally valid. But to go so far and say you want the friend removed is extreme. IMO. IWTA. Predimis. If your boyfriend's friends were making comments about you probably cheating, would you want that person at your wedding? I would be livid too. It's rude. It's disrespectful. And for all you know, it may not have been the first or last time. It's not a crime to be upset that someone is talking SHT behind your back. Drunk or not. Mixed judgments. Ultimately, AITA deemed IDA. Update. 3 days later. So after I posted last time, it became pretty clear that regardless of whether I was overreacting or not, I had to talk to my fiancé immediately. So I went to talk to my fiancé about what I heard. And it turns out she knew about what was said literally the morning after. The whole friend group pulled up the bridesmaid, who really had just intended to make a crass joke, and was actually unaware of most of my friend's predicament. No one knew I heard it, so she only ended up apologizing to my fiancé, and telling her she legitimately didn't mean offense, nor thought in any way I was cheating on her. I told my fiancé everything, showed her the post, told her how it felt to be accused like that, and long story short, she got the friend to come over ASAP. There were a ton of apologies going around. I admit I overreacted to a comment, and took it to mean the absolute worst thing possible. She didn't make the comment in any way, which was not horrible, and she did apologize profusely for how it came across. By the end of it, we were all good. I thought that would be it, but the bridesmaid and the rest of the group actually took significant steps forward. My friend will hang out with people who come over. But in all honesty, she doesn't leave the house, not that I blame her. The bridesmaid has taken charge along with the rest of the group, and they've all made surprise plans for them, and my friend to do things my fiancé thinks everyone, especially my friend, will enjoy. In all honesty, I felt very slighted the past half week. I wasn't sure how this situation would be resolved in a way that I'd be able to forgive this person for what they've said. But taking her own time and money to make someone I care about who's suffering feel better is so much better than anything I could have imagined. Also, she brought cookies, and being angry and holding on to anger makes you really hungry. So yeah, we're incredibly square. Thank you to those who legitimately criticized me. Edit. I just realized I technically never said it. Bridesmaids are still bridesmaids. Edit 2. The bridesmaid even did something super sweet for my puppy. My dummy son was extremely upset. I ate all the chocolate chip cookies without offering him a bite because I like him alive, and R2 played her so badly that she dropped off a puppuccino for him this morning. Comments. Delictra Constant. Great news. I love a happy ending. Lake Hop. Yay. This is a model post. OP communicated to both his fiancée and the friend who said a stupid or insulting thing. They explained and apologized. It wasn't as bad as the worst possible interpretation of the comment. Redditors take note. OP was able to understand, forgive, and get past it. They showed their best side and did something even better for a person who needed it. What a win-win. Okay, bodybuilder 14303. And there were cookies. So win-win yum. Record myself 15653. That's a good ending. I'll just say that you can't blame the bridesmaid for not knowing the details of your friend's personal problems. Because people shouldn't be gossiping about her business anyway. OP. I never have, and don't blame her for not knowing. It was a little surprising because I thought everyone knew, especially since it's not the first time she's met my friend since she moved in. Second story. OP is going on a date after his wife passed, but he fears people's judgment. Hi Reddit. 36-year-old widowed dad with a 5-year-old child here. My wife passed away 6 months after giving birth, and all of my life since then has been devoted to being the best dad I can be. I've been fortunate to have some amazing family support along the way. Anyway, I have known this woman for 2 years now. Her daughter and mine go to daycare, and now school together and are friends. It started off as a meeting during drop-off and pickups, then playdates, and we then hung out a couple of times on our own as well. She's my age, and is a single mother after her partner left her during the pregnancy. He does not have any involvement in their lives anymore. I did develop feelings for her, and I told her this a couple of days ago. She feels the same and wants to see where this goes. We are going out to dinner on Tuesday night. Sorry if this sounds pathetic, but I'm feeling giddy with excitement like I'm a teenager again. I am worried about a couple of things. First, how our children will take this, they don't know yet. Second, if it doesn't work out, how will it impact our relationship and also our children's relationship with each other? Third, how to date after being out of the loop for so many years. She has been on a few dates since being single. And lastly, I do wonder if people will judge me for moving on too quickly. I do love my wife, and she will always have a place in my heart. But I also know she would have wanted me to find love again. Thank you for reading. TLDR. Going on my first date since my wife died. It's with a single mom from my child's daycare, and I'm concerned. Comments. Patagonia Fisk. Wow, from the way you describe the lead up to this date, it sounds like you both are level-headed people with some great communication skills. Good for you. My advice would be to keep your relationship away from your kids until you are really serious. You never know how life is going to unfold, but it sounds like you're doing everything right. And I'm sure that your wife is cheering you on from the spirit side and wants you to be happy. Boxster Guy. Good luck, OP, for your concerns. 1. Kids are resilient. Since it sounds like you both already have something of a relationship with each other's children, they know each other. You know her child, she knows yours. Nothing should be weird. 2. This is where you have to use your grown-up words and communicate. Talk about this up front. We work great as friends. If we don't work out as a couple, let's do what we can to stay friends anyway. And then mean it. Stuff any post-relationship jealousy down the memory hole, and just be happy that you have a friend. That's rare enough by itself these days. 3. What'd she like to do? Do that. Worst case, go out for dinner or drinks and spend the time talking. Take a walk somewhere nice. 4. F what other people think. Also, you're 4.5 years in. If anybody gives you SHT for moving too quickly after 5 years, you tell them to pound sand. Update. 3 days later. Update. Had an amazing first date. I just got back from an early dinner date with my friend, and we had the best time ever. I was definitely more nervous than her in the beginning, but she was great. And we then got chatting like nothing had changed. We had a lovely dinner, a couple of drinks, and a goodnight kiss. We've made plans to meet again next week. Thank you to everyone who responded. Your responses helped give me confidence that what I was doing was right, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. There was a deleted follow-up post in R2 Hot Takes Contents Deleted. Update. Fun day out for date 2 yesterday. She said she wanted to go out again. Yay, thank you for watching the video. If you are interested in listening to these kinds of stories, we've got more in store for you. Simply subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share it with your friends.